What's up, everyone? It's Ajik, and today I'm bringing to you some Attila Total War gameplay. Attila Total War is by far one of my favorite Attila games. Well, maybe Shogun 2 is actually one of my favorite, but um, let's be honest, this time period is just absolutely incredible. And anyway, so got a battle replay for you here. It's myself playing as the Western Roman Empire, and we're playing against the Danes, and so this is going to be on a port assault, and let's get into it. So I really want to kind of, take you guys through the strategy, my thoughts as I was setting up, and then, essentially how I reacted to situations throughout the game. So yeah, Danes, they are playing as the Vikings. They're kind of going to have, their ships as well as their infantry units coming at me. Um, so it's going to be a pretty wild time. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to put this on pause for right now just to kind of go over the units. Alright, so you'll see that the AI split up their forces into two, which is honestly really nice. I think Attila does a good job at that. And it's just a little more realistic, gives you a little more to work with, essentially, and to fight against. Anyway, so the AI brought some pretty elite troops. So they brought some chosen warriors. How many do they have? I think they have 3 units chosen warriors. They also brought some very heavy spear infantry, the Nordic spearmasters. Then they also brought a couple light skirmishers, a large onager, the raider cav, and that kind of was their assault force here. They had 1 tower and 2 rams, and then out here, the rest of their forces. It was a big mix of different things. They had their berserkers. I think, how many did they bring of those? They brought 2 berserkers, 1 light artillery ship, a few light bowmen, some rams, and their general, and 1 fire ship here too. So I didn't bring any navy because I just didn't have the resources to spend on that. I knew that I would not be able to fight them efficiently out here, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna spend all my resources on infantry. Just one thing too is sometimes I do put light rams out here to try to get like a early cheese on them and sink a few ships. However, in this case, I decided against that. Instead, kind of went with a D-Day landing style. I was like, I want to make these people pay when they come in here. So in here, as they stop, not only do they have to deal with watchtowers, but I've got, sand traps, stone beds. I got my skirmishers all set up, more traps, more skirmishers. Oh, I wanted to make them pay. Anyway, so what did I bring? So I brought 4 units of Legio. Forget my pronunciation on these. Fedatori spears? I'm just going to say medium spear infantry because I don't want to butcher that. So yeah, I brought 4 Legio, 4 medium spears, 2 units of the skirmishers. My general is the Comes, and unfortunately he doesn't have any rally abilities or anything else like that. So it's just straight, general unit without any abilities, gives him a morale boost. Anyway, so then with this area here, I was like, all right, I want to make them pay for coming in here, of course. So, all the ships have to get funneled in this one area. So I also brought 2 light artillery just to kind of pepper down the ships. And I was hoping for some early kills just by sinking ships out in the harbor. What else did I bring? Okay, so I also brought 2 elite ballistariae and the Sagittariae. Other than that, that's really it. I set up my Bastion Onager to face off against this force here to kind of, thin out their elite troops early. And then I also placed 1 here just in case they landed here and I could get some kills on hopefully their general. And then this one here, I just needed another place to put it. Also, I put my barricade kind of in this alley right here because I knew that this main army was going to come this way and kind of take this whole area. I wasn't going to defend the walls simply because my troops are not high enough skill to be able to fight them off. So I wanted to bring them into these choke points, kind of keep my men up in this, we'll call it the keep area, the second level, and so I put the barricade there just to prevent people from coming in behind my troops who are facing the beach here. Anyway, so let's get this started, and it starts off pretty quick with artillery phase. I get my onager to try and take out their large onager, and because I know this thing's going to do some serious damage, and you're going to see in a sec, this thing just wipes out a unit. It is absolutely ridiculous. So now watch this. This is savage. Look. Oh, jeez. Terrible. They just wiped out my spear unit. Are you kidding me? Look at that. 39 guys left. Everyone else is dead. Anyway, so I was like, oh jeez, alright, I gotta get them out of the way. So I pull them up just behind this building here because I want to get them some sort of shelter. Anyway, here comes the second rally. Assault on my troops, and it, just absolutely savage, wiping out 30, 40 guys. Jeez. So anyway, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm pulling my Legio back, putting my Elite Ballistaria into loose formation. I can't lose these high tier, especially these high tier units. Anyway, so this goes on for a little while. I decide, perfect hit. See, this is what I wanted. Now they're down to, 3 onager, and for every one I can take out, that means less of my men are going to die, because as you saw, these things destroy. I've got one of my artillery units here, actually trying to focus down on the chosen warriors, just to kind of soften them up. Oh, and then you'll also notice here that I put a few spike traps in front of the door, the gatehouse, and then I also put a stone bed. And the whole reason I do this is try and slow down the battering ram. And stone beds are so good for that, because the longer I can keep their men from getting in to into the city and capping this gatehouse, the more damage these watchtowers are going to do. And for every second that I hold this area, it's just going to do more and more damage to these warriors. So very important to have something here that just slows down the advance. Anyway, so they're coming on. Over here, perfect. Alright, so you notice I've got my artillery already trying to take out the marauders here, and I got so close. This, it was tough to watch. Look, it's at 73 damage and 85. I was so close to taking these guys out. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen. But let's just watch it. It's so cool too. Like, just the graphics in this are so good. Yeah, the jump's a little unrealistic, but whatever. Anyway, so here I start getting my skirmishers to unleash, and it's perfect because right now, these guys are all in loose formation. I can get some good shots off, ideally. Yeah, look at that. They're going down. They're taking damage. They're falling on the traps. Already 68. They're going down. At this point, I was really trying to focus down their general with my artillery, but it was just not meant to be. It was so sad. I was with all these ships. I don't know what happened, but I got so close to killing them all, and nothing. The biggest tease. Anyway, so they do manage to get some of their axemen through here.
Utterly destroyed.
So anyway, I switched out places. I was like, I gotta get these skirmishers back, and I switched out to put in the Legio in front. Anyway, so let's going over here. Alright, so they've taken out the gatehouse, but look at this. This is what I'm talking about. If you put this bed of stones here, it slows down their advance so fast. And look at all the bodies. Like, that makes it completely worth it. And I still own the gatehouse. It's still shooting down at these guys and getting all sorts of kills. Absolutely amazing. And the oil, of course, just wrecking. Anyway, over here, I know that, alright, they got axemen. and their general have just absolutely insane charges. I gotta do something about this. So I start focusing my skirmishers to take them on from the back here, and then I'm trying to swing around my other legio to go support this one here. In addition to that, a little bit risky, but I started firing down my artillery pieces right on this clump of people here, just to try and take them out. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about when I mentioned earlier that Cav just love to attack spears first. I didn't have a big enough spear unit just because it got absolutely decimated earlier. But normally I'd have a full strength unit there to take these guys on. Anyway, as you can see, I've also started to move up my reserves. I had another unit of spear just in the back here ready to go. And, you know, these Raider Cav, they're breaking now. Something you want to think about on longer battles is conserving your bow ammunition. In this case, I was okay with some of them using it up. You'll notice here that the Sagittarius have already used up a lot of their ammunition. The reason for that was, you know, they were just, their targets were high level infantry, and I'd switch them on to piercing shot to really, you know, hit through the armor and kill those high tier units. Anyway, battle over here, it still goes on. I had got them in sandwich, but unfortunately, you know, their general unit was just too strong, and it's a wipe. It's a wipe, guys. But look, oh my goodness, look at all the dead. Jeez, absolutely brutal. All right, let's see what happens here. Here's their general unit. Look at these brave men without any armor. Just oh, savage. At the last minute, I charged down my Legio to get a little bit of a charge bonus in there. You know, so at this point, doing pretty well. You know, I'm pretty confident.
Excellent.
I still have a skirmisher unit out here just to tie up some of these guys here. Their general just broke, so they're going to take huge morale hits. Anyway, at this point, I'm pretty confident. You know, they don't have too many more people over here, so I start pushing out to try and chase down these skirmishers. This can be really risky because if they turn around, they can just, you know, decimate a unit so fast. However, you know, I was able to catch them, and because their general was dead, they broke pretty quickly. Now, at this point, I start bringing around more units kind of face the clump here. I'm not too worried about the ones back here, these javelin, because I know they have to go through all these towers first, and they're just going to be losing guys the whole time.
Return to the fight.
Beyond that, they're already wavering, so I was pretty confident that they wouldn't be a threat. I start moving up my general just to be a bit of a morale boost, and now I've got all my archers targeting down the guys here.
Enemy troops have reached the walls.
Kind of get my men ready for one last charge. In we go. Look at them. Fight, men. Defend your homes. Stop these Viking raiders. So there they go. They break. They break. And surprisingly, the skirmishers over here held their own against against the elite troops they were facing. Anyway, so that was it. Let's just go ahead and end the replay. So you'll notice I had more men, and the reason for that was, you know, they did bring a lot of ships, essentially, that, you know, they just don't have as many people. And in addition to that, they also brought some really high tier units. And so you'll see here, you know, yeah, the Onager, did they pay off? I think I was able to get maybe 1 or 2 ships sunk completely, and that doesn't register as like enemy troops killed. But in this case, I was a little bit disappointed with them. They got a lot of ships to 85% damage, and then nothing happened. The skirmishers, definitely worth it. Got the highest kills overall. I always love bringing skirmishers in any sort of siege where I'm actually defending, and also saving them for like the last. That's it for another video, but just holding a fresh unit of skirmishers for like the last push by the enemy, and you just pull them up and you can wipe out their whole unit. It's great. Definitely, the Secretariat and Elite Ballistariat not really pulling their weight, but then definitely my Spirians doing all right. But look at this, guys. Oh, their Onager, look, 236 kills. They devastated me. Absolutely devastated me. And that is why it is so important to try and take out their artillery in the beginning when you're playing on a small map. Obviously, bigger maps, it's not going to have the range. Well, they'll still have the same range, but it won't be able to reach as far into the city and hit your troops. But in this case, there's not much I could do about that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned a little bit. If you have any comments, please put them below. Always open to suggestions. If you want to see something more, let me know. Have a great day.